Reptilians during their arrest and demise. Folks, one thing. You need to follow Gina Marie Colvin-Hill, who sees these incredible images, somehow, of other suns, ships, and plasma entities coming to Earth. She thinks the plasma entities are birthing dark matter, because it comes out from underneath, lol. I don't think plasma has a birth canal, tbh, but Ivo says they're trying to transmute the dark matter, which they picked up here on Earth. She gets all this incredible stuff on video. Plus you have to see the picture Gene Decode took of the third and fifth dimensional suns all in one shot. Michael Jaco has it in one of his videos he did last night on the 11th of February. Really cool stuff. People are seeing beyond the grid and they're seeing into other dimensions. I've started to do this myself as well, just in my house. The difference between the fifth dimensional sun and the third dimensional sun is that the 3D sun is the yellow ball with undifferentiated rays coming out from all sides. The fifth dimensional sun is more blue/white and it has definite stronger rays coming out among the less differentiated white background rays, something like you'd see in someone's hubcap. How many darker spokes the sun has? Maybe 5 or 6. Right, now we'll connect with Soren of the Pleadian Delta Forces with a question I've wanted to ask for a while. Me, hi, Soren. Soren, hello, Sheran. Me, how are you? Soren, I'm doing well. Very busy. Me, can you please tell us about that? Soren, I'll tell you what I can. Of course. We're still out in the area of China, down in the bases. We're taking out all of the dumps here with many of Earth's military forces aiding us. We have discovered more gold here, and so many gems, it's staggering to contemplate. Me, wow. Soren, we have also, of course, found the usual scene in the dumps with horrendous suffering and so many people who have been fused together with animal parts, DNA experiments, and there are just body parts strewn along the walkways. Unbelievable. When you say that hell is below you, I would tend to agree, this is hell. Me, I know. That's the hardest part to come to terms with when you consider all of this. Soren, we have seen so much and some of your people can't continue. They're so traumatized just by observing what's gone on in these bases. We found one base in the mountains under Zhejiang, China that has to be the worst by far. There were bodies heaped in stacks, most of these children, and so many babies. Me, okay, Soren, can you please not describe this any further because I'm getting upset and I'm sure there are others who can't handle it. Soren, fine, Sheran. But you'll see this in your news. It's worse than your Holocaust of World War II, much worse. Me, thank you for trying to prepare us. The collective shock on this planet will probably be felt around the universe, and frankly the guilt some may be feeling every time they look at a milk carton and see a report of a missing child will be enormous. It's not our fault, but we were naive in thinking that World War II could never happen again, yet it's been going on underneath our feet. These are just concentration camps. Soren, they are, Sheran. Absolutely horrendous. Me, by the way, folks, I looked up Zhejiang and it's northwest of Hong Kong and northeast of Hanoi. Soren, were you taking part in the air battle between COMC and the US? Soren, we let you handle some of your own battles, Sheran. You have a 50% part in this. We can do what we can to remove the dark ones from the planet, but whatever happens between the various countries now is your battle. Me, so you have this well defined? Soren, we help always with personal details. As you know, when you need to see an oncoming car, your guides will alert you to its presence and your potential collision path, so we can help the fighter pilots that way, and they tend to be rather intuitive, so that really helps us because we have more access to help them. We can also put thoughts into the minds of the opposing military pilots to help them make bad decisions as well. We did this in World War II also. Me, yes. The war in the Pacific was a series of blunders. And now look, after all that, Japan and the US are fighting on the same side. When does this stop? Soren, when you decide to stop it. Me, okay, I wanted to ask you what it's like to arrest reptilians and or draconians, and are they turning and helping you? What kind of responses are you getting from them? Soren, varied responses. Some of them spit at us and hiss their venomous intentions to cut us into pieces and to eat us. Or to eat us whole. Others are almost happy it's over with and secretly take us aside in order to give us intel. Me, well, yeah, the hissers. They've been around here too as well. Archangel Michael will make short work of them. They think they can scare you. Soren, and that's the thing, not to be scared. We know, of course, we're far more powerful than they'll ever be, and that's why they have to hide from you on the surface, because of your power, but we just arrest them, and they go to galactic court. Those who have souls are sent back to the central sun. We have prisons on the moon, underneath in some of the dumps still because we can't move them off planet. There are prisons on Jupiter's moons, in the Pleiades, all over. There are so many of them. Me, what about the ones who change sides? Soren, they are the ones who are fed up, a lot of the time, of being bossed around. Often, they want to be bosses and they think they can get a position working in the Galactic Federation. So they give us intel and try to manipulate us into taking them on as a ship commander or some other position. Me, lol. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Soren, they're pretty delusional. Me, so you take their information, check it out, and if it's correct, then what? Soren, we give them leniency. We give them a chance to move over to the light, but they have to do the work. Me, do they all have souls? Soren, not all. Some are more robotic clones and are parasitic in nature. Me, so you've got all kinds there. Soren, yes. Nothing we haven't dealt with before, though. Me, I'm sensing that when you get the AI ones, the ones so connected to the AI controller that they can't think for themselves, that you send a shock of light back to the mainframe, in order to take it down or something. Soren, we do. When we get the ones that are drones, that's what you'd call them. Me, I see you've been watching our sci-fi movies. Soren, as a matter of fact, Sheran, we do watch them. We find them humorous, but we can understand what your frame of reference would be by watching them. So when you think of a drone, you'd think of the Borg, which is a part human, part artificial intelligence being that is hooked up to the central mind, and this is what some of these reptilians are. They're the most deadly. You have to be really careful with them because the AI mainframe understands that we have a direct connection to it. Others are more organic and some even have soul connection, but are still mind controlled by the mainframe in other ways. Me, pretty incredible. Soren, with the ones who are drones, we can make inputs into their circuitry in order to disempower the mainframe more and more, and with this, slowly we're killing it. Me, interesting. Soren, you're due to split out timelines shortly, and when this mainframe goes into the negative third-dimensional timelines, it'll be a fraction of what it was before. We've all done a wonderful job of disempowering the intruder, and soon, it won't be long before it does. It's just dying a slow death. Me, it has no other way of re-empowering itself? Soren, we've got it isolated. It can't go anywhere, and with so many people on Earth waking up, as well as the arrest of so many of its drones and chiefs, and our reprogramming wherever we can. LOL Sheran, you're funny. Me, I cut him off. I was thinking they should play 60s hippie music of peace and love to the drones. And that they could also use a quick-wit Captain Kirk on their side to help defeat the invader within 60 minutes. Soren, you see why we watch your science fiction then, don't you? Me, Kirk was a gambler. He'd gamble his crew's lives every time. Soren, we don't do that. We don't gamble. We don't even try. We just do. We're that certain of our success. No light being ever tries anything. Me, yes. Lots of concepts that will go the way of the dodo when we come into our full power here. Do you have particular stories that stand out for you with regard to these arrests? I can see you sitting at your control panel, Soren. You seem to have a dark navy blue uniform on. Soren, yes. We do have uniforms. Me, that's more than you were wearing when you posed for the portrait with Christine. Fortunately she covered up a lot of what really I'm not keen to show the public and is still considered to be inappropriate here. Soren, lol. She caught me at a bad time. Me, oh god. I was thinking of photoshopping some clothes onto you. If you'll notice, I usually only show your face or bust when I put up your picture. Soren, I'll try to have some clothes on when I come to your home. Me, yes, please do. We all try to be decent. You can bring a swimsuit to swim in my pool, please. No skinny dipping. Soren, lol. Now, as for your question. Who stands out? There was a female reptilian, who was a descendant of the ones who lived in Inner Earth. She was particularly angry with the Draconians for taking her planet away from her. They had killed her parents when she was young and made a sex slave out of her as well. We captured her under the mountains in Russia and she was an easy capture. She was really ready to be freed, very ready. The space that she was held captive in was a small place, and it really stunk. They gave her scraps to eat and she was emaciated. Me, what kind of reptilian was she? What color? Did she have wings or a tail? Soren, she was white and she had no tail, in fact. She was about 8 of your feet tall, so a small one. But she wasn't slight. All reptilians are physically powerful, but she surrendered with no fuss. We could sense she was ready to talk. She gave us a lot of information. This is the thing about the lower dimensionals, they're more than ready to stab each other in the back, as long as they're not so fearful they'll be quiet. Or as long as they have no sense of allegiance to their god, because they're told this computer is a god. Me, of course. Soren, she told us about their troop movements. Yes, they're still forming armies in the tunnels underneath the earth. The troops have seen better days but they're still moving around and fighting. But they're moving around because they don't want to be taken. They know if they sit still for long, they'll be caught. Me, so they're on the run. Soren, yes. All over the planet still. Some of them are ready to give up right away and give up without a fight. Some fight to the death. So we kill them. Some run with their families. That's really sad. You see, their children are involved with this as well. Yes, they have armies that were set up the same way as your armies are, both genders do the work of the soldiers, and they have families and the children get caught up in it. Me, what do you do with the ones that are caught that give up? Soren, we have rehab colonies in this solar system. Me, so these colonies are there to help them turn to the light and ascend. Soren, some of them were with the light before they were overtaken. Me, wow. Like us. Soren, you do have some similarities. Some of them are relatively peaceful beings but just of a lower frequency, but still light aligned. We help them restore that to their families and give them peace, and help them to recover. They're also working with positive groups out of Draconis, although many aren't very happy with any Draconian right now, but they do, and also the Raptors of Earth are working with them. There's a lot that has to be done to restore peace on Earth right now. So many are affected. Me, any more stories? Soren, lol, you're very curious. Me, yes. Is that a problem? LOL. Soren, there was Pentic. He was a grey reptilian and he wasn't from Earth, more like from another part of the galaxy. A 32 system. He was grey with orange eyes. And he was a mean one. He'd been indoctrinated for so long that he was on board, there was no getting to him. He struggled against our restraints, he tried to get out of his cell so often. He would try to manipulate the guards, try to bribe them. He was really vile, really vile. He was what you'd call psychotic. But he's gone. The universe is rid of him. He's gone back to source. He was taken to court, put before the tribunal, and he just hissed and spat when they started to speak to him. I believe he thought that if he delayed the court date he could live forever. He really thought he was more powerful than the tribunal, but he found out otherwise. I felt sorry for him, in a way. Me, gotta watch pity. Don't let yourself be manipulated by it. Talk to me, I'd know. Soren, I know. We don't have these weaknesses, Sheran. But we do have compassion. His life could have been so much better, but he wasn't believing that. He thought the light were weak and spineless. Me, So he found out otherwise. Ultimate justice was served. Soren, yes. Then there are the reptilian children. They're so afraid, really afraid. You want to reach out to them, but the parents are just as afraid as the children are. Me, somehow I think I can understand their reactions, because we here on Earth behave more like they do than we do like you. Soren, yes. You have an incredible edge when it comes to understanding them. And you there on Earth who have experienced the horrendous abuse of the dark side are helping us in our decision making when you're on ship at night time, so thank you. You may not know you do this service, but all you have to do is experience your third-dimensional reactions to situations we propose and you can tell us how the reptilians would act. Me, I know. Pretty sad, isn't it? We're more reptilian than human right now. Well, thank God for the incoming light. We'll return to our true selves. Soren, it's fear. They all feel fear. We can't feel fear because we're beyond that frequency. But you're not. So you help in that regard. Me, I'm sure we're all happy to assist, Soren. Soren, thanks Sheran. I must go now. Me, I still see you at your console. Oh no. Don't press the red button. Soren, why not? Me, haven't you watched Star Trek? Never press the blinking red button. Soren, oh. I see. Well, Mr. Spock, I'll leave you to your videos. Me, thanks, Soren. We'll talk soon. Soren, never soon enough, Sheran. Adieu.